Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, we are going to talk about two ways of expressing hypothesis. The first way is expressing hypothesis or hypothesizing, supposing about the present and future in the first part, and hypothesizing about the past. But this time we are not going to speculate about present, future, or past with models. We are going to hypothesize with some expressions that you already know. Okay, in fact, with this video, we will have finished the fourth tour of Harmony 3, the advanced level. So we will have two more tours with 20 presentations, 20 videos. But in fact, as you know, there are 6 tours in a Harmony, and there are 10 trips in a tour. In fact, after this video, that we will start tour 5, and we will finish Harmony 3. But in the last tour, we are going to make videos about mostly about dialogues. And by using the subjects that we have learned from the very beginning of our courses, online courses, of course, including Harmony 1, Harmony 2, and Harmony 3. So we will end Harmony 3, we will end. Okay, we will end Harmony 3 with tour 5, just after finishing this video. Okay, shall we remember the models to speculate about present, future, and past? For example, it is not our subject today, but as a summary, for example, the lost city of civilization, Atlantis, might be under the island of Cyprus, or the lost city Atlantis may be under the island of Cyprus. So this is about hypothesizing about the present. Okay, yes, it might be under the Cyprus island. Of course, for example, when it comes to hypothesizing or speculating, assuming about the past, for example, they say that, some experts say that in the past, in the old ages, maybe there was a civilization more developed than today's civilization in the era of Noah, Prophet Noah, peace be upon him. And after the flood, that civilization was destroyed by the flood. Okay, of course, these are all theories or hypotheses. For example, let's make a model perfect to speculate about the past. The flood might have destroyed the civilization in the time of Noah, peace be upon him. Okay, but in today's lesson, as I said, we are going to hypothesize by using the subjects that you have already learned. Okay, now let's take a look at those expressions to speculate, to hypothesize about present, future, and past. Okay. Okay, all right, and welcome back. I hope it will be a useful video. Yes, as I said, in the last tour, in tour 6 of Harmony 3, we will have that kind of presentations with dialogues with the subjects that you have already learned up to now, up to the present. Okay, let's start with a GIF. I don't know, he says. Do you know his phone number or not? Do you know his phone number or not? Or not? Do you know his phone number or don't you know his phone number? I don't know it. I don't know his phone number. I don't know what his phone number is. Now, thoughts are free. I am reading the images. Thoughts are free. Past, present, future, and there is an image, in fact, the same image in two places. And that is the symbol of hypothesizing, imagining, supposing, assuming. Okay, you are familiar with them. You are already familiar with those words and expressions. Okay, trip 10. Hypothesizing or imagining, supposing about present, future. Now, in the first place, in the first part, we are going to hypothesize about future and present and future, and then in the second part, we are going to make sentences about hypothesizing, again about the past. Okay. With if, yes, you know that second type of if I wish, if only. Let me write there second type. Okay. If but second type if with the second type. Second type if. Okay. Yes, do you remember wish clause? Okay, with wish again, and if only, just like second type, wish and if only, supposing, also possible, would rather, would sooner, it was high time, it was about time, or just it was time. Okay, okay, as if, though. No, now here is a dialogue. We have to go to American embassy immediately right now with Yasin. Do you know Yasin's telephone number? Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, I don't know. Now, yes, these are our wishes and hypothesis begins from here. I wish we knew Yasin's telephone number now. I wish we knew Yasin's telephone number now. But in reality, do we know? Do you know it? No, we don't. We don't know Yasin's telephone number. Now, it is just a wish. It is just an imagination. I wish we knew. I wish we knew Yasin's telephone number now. Okay. So what is interesting or different about this is that the main clause is in present tense, I wish now, okay? We knew, it is in simple past tense, although it is a speculation, it is an hypothesis about the present. Okay, I wish we knew. I wish yes, this is also possible. I wish to speak German. Means just like saying as a verb, okay? I want to speak German. I wish to speak German. I desire to speak German. I wish to be able to speak German. Yes, I want to be able to speak German. This is normal speech, okay? Now dialogue one. Now in hypothesizing, I wish I could speak German now. Which language do you wish? Again, in simple present tense, main clause question. Which foreign language do you wish you could speak? I wish I could speak Spanish. I wish I could speak Spanish now. Two, Yeşim wishes. Simple present, main clause. Yeşim wishes she lived in Tokyo. Although she lives in New York, Yeşim wishes she lived in Tokyo. Where does Nermin wish she lived? Nermin wishes she lived in Madrid. What does Jakub wish? Jakub wishes she lived in Tokyo. She lived. Okay. Now he wishes to help you. He wishes to help you, or he wishes to be able to help you. Now, Jakub wishes he could help you, but unfortunately, he says he can't help you. So, I wish he were richer than he is now. Okay, than clause. I wish he were richer than he is now. Okay, how can I help you? Or may I help you? Can I help you? These are extremely beautiful expressions. Okay, 3. We wish Zeynep and Zehra would visit us next month. We wish Zeynep and Zehra would visit us next month, or could visit us next month, with just would and could, okay? In the first type of wish clauses, as you know, we use just the past of can and will. We wish Zeynep and Zehra would visit us next month. For I wish I could stand on a busy street corner, hat in hand, and with a hand in hand, and beg people to throw me all their wasted hours. Bernard Branson said this beautiful saying. Yes, but this is important for us. I wish I could stand, okay? I wish I could stand on a busy street corner with a hat in hand and beg people, want people, yes, and want people to give me all their wasted hours. So, 3 ways to turn wasted hours into quality time. Yes, what we need is quality hours, not wasted hours. So we shouldn't waste our time. We shouldn't waste our hours. What does the last image say? Yes, quality management is really important. It requires effort, diligence. Quality management is at the bottom of the process, and then quality assurance comes, and at the top there is quality control. Of course, without control, quality is not quality. Quality is quality with control, with discipline. Okay, Roman number 2. If only my grandfather were here now. Yeah, if only, with if only. And it is enough. If only my grandfather were here now is enough. Okay? But there is no need to say, I would ask him questions. We use it in the second type of if clauses. For example, if there were not only here, if my grandfather were here now, I would ask him questions. But here, if only is enough because of its specification of being specific. If only my grandmother were here now, in fact, there should be an exclamation mark. Yeah. Okay. Sighing. Just sighing. about his or her grandfather. Number two, if only you could drive a car. Yeah, if only you could drive a car. I know that you can drive a car. You know that you can drive a car. Yeah, in that kind of that kind of situation, it is enough to say, if only you could drive a car. Three, if only I were much richer than I am now. Okay, if only I were, sorry, if only I were much richer than I am now. Do you remember? We can also use far richer, far richer. If only I were far richer than I am now. And what does the image say? If only I were wealthy. Yeah, if only I were rich. If only I were wealthy. Wealthy means rich. Number four, if only I were a violent wind or snow on those mountains, would you look for and find me? Yeah, this is a line from a Turkish folk song. Yes. If only I were a violent wind or snow on those mountains, would you look for and find me? Yes, in some cases we use, okay, we can complete it to a complex sentence, okay, to a complete complex sentence, yeah. Okay, if only the wind would blow gently, yeah, the wind is blowing strongly now, okay, if only the wind would blow gently, or if only the wind were blowing gently now. 6, if only my uncle could behave mildly like this in my imagination. Yes, in my mind. Okay, if only my uncle could behave mildly, but unfortunately, he is always behaving violently. Okay. How to save $1 million? Roman number 3 with suppose or hypothesize you had 1 million. Okay, just like saying if you had 1 million. Okay. Suppose you had 1 million pounds or dollars, what would you do? Yes, you are. I am sure that you know it very well if you have followed all the other videos from the beginning up to now. Suppose that you saw your favorite singer now, how would you feel? How would you feel? Or hypothesize that you saw your favorite singer now, how would you feel? Just like think that you saw your favorite singer now, how would you feel? Of course, suppose, assume those are more powerful than think, just think. Assume that you saw your favorite singer now, how would you feel? Hypothesize that you saw your favorite singer now, how would you feel? Or imagine that, etc., etc. Or instead of saying suppose that, it's also possible, you know this as well. Supposing that you found a wallet full of banknotes, what would you do? Supposing or hypothesizing, assuming you were a famous and successful singer, how would you feel? Okay, about the wallet. There is an image, found the wallet. Thank you. Thank you to the kind person who found my wallet last week and turned it into the police. Go humans, yeah. Keep being humans. Okay. Now, let's read the images first. There is a bee in the image on the right. The image on the left says getting stung or being stung by a bee. As you know, a bee has a sting. So a sting is both verb and noun. Okay, stink, stank, stunk. Stunk is the verb 3 form. Getting stung. Gerund passive. Yeah. How to avoid it? How to avoid getting stung by a bee? What to do when you are stung? When you are stung by a bee? Yes, what should you do? Now, Roman number 5. If a bee didn't have a sting, yes, just like a needle, okay? If a bee didn't have a sting, it couldn't keep its honey. Really, said this beautiful, wise saying. Okay. If a bee didn't have a sting, but it is good that it is fortunate that a bee has a sting. If a bee didn't have a sting, it couldn't keep its honey. So to protect its honey, it is good that a bee has a sting. If I had more time, I would write shorter stories. If I had more time, I would write shorter stories besides writing long stories. 3, if your grandfather were here today, he would just do what you do. 4, if that did not exist, it would be necessary to invent it. Yeah, a famous thinker said this, but I couldn't remember it. It is really true. If that did not exist, it would be necessary for us to invent it. Okay. If we look at it in with an or through an holistic approach. Okay. Now, holistic perspective, also possible. Roman number 6, I would rather somebody, okay? I would rather you went to Istanbul tomorrow. Do you see the hypothesis about imagination, about the future? I would rather you went, okay? I would rather you went to Istanbul tomorrow. Number 2, I'd rather you were quiet now. I'd rather you were happy now. I would rather you were in Istanbul now. I would rather you quiet now. 3, shall I open the window? I'd rather you didn't. Okay. I'd rather you didn't open the window. Roman number 7, or just like I would rather, okay? I think I would rather is much easier to say. I would sooner. It is a little bit confusing. Soon, in a short time, for example, it doesn't have a connection, a relation with the word soon, okay? But take it as a phrase. I would sooner play, means I would rather play, okay? I would sooner you played in the game now. Okay, I would sooner you played in the game now. I'd sooner you didn't tell him now that his father has bought him a laptop. Let it be a surprise for him. 3, I'd sooner your friend practiced more to make his speaking better, his writing better. Roman number 8, now this is extremely important, okay? It's time we went to the conference now. You know, it's normal form, noun to do. It's time to go, okay? This is normal form. It's time to go to the conference now. But here, this is not normal. This is about hypothesizing, assuming, supposing, imagining. Okay, it's time we went. It's time we went to the conference now. Okay, it's time we learned that time is flowing like a river. Yes, if you take a look at the give, it says time to go. Okay, time to go is enough. It's time to go. Let's go. But then you need to say for whom, for example. It's time to go for us, for him, for Ahmed. Okay. Here, it's time Ahmet went. Okay. It's time Ahmet went. Okay. It's time you had or you had got. Sorry. It's time you had your hair cut. It's time you got your hair cut. Okay. It's time you went. Now, okay, about present or future. It's time you went to a barber's shop now, or it's time you went to a barber's shop tomorrow. Okay. It's time you face the fact that you make thousands of sentences after the fact that uh, connector as a connector. It's time you face the fact that there are some learned, educated, and civilized men of our age. Okay, now it's time again. It is continuing, still continuing. I think it's time I wrote an article. What on earth on learning a foreign language? What do you think it's time you did? It's time I started Spanish. It's time I started learning Spanish. Let me delete the heading. There is no need to write here because we have been studying it for or since from the beginning. Okay. Okay, Roman number 9. It's about time. It's about time we had. It's about time. It's time we had the first part. The second part, it's about time we had a conversation on pollution. Okay. It's time we had, yeah, okay, suitable, but it's about time we had a conversation more suitable. Okay. It's about time we had a conversation on pollutions, more stronger than. It's about time is more stronger than it's time. Okay. It's about time we took mind pollution seriously. Yeah, it's about time. Exactly. This time is exactly suitable. It's about time we took mind pollution seriously. It's about time, again, I think it's about time I bought a car. Yeah, I think it's about time I bought a car. Of course, it's time to buy a car for me is also true, but it's time I bought. It's time I bought a car is also true. As I said, it's about time I bought a car is more stronger and suitable uh, to to show the emphasis importance of the message. Okay, all the structures are true, 100%. What do you think? It's about time you did. It's about time I bought a house. It's about time I wrote an article about buying a house. Okay, now this is the most strongest, of course, from the point of giving the message. All of them are true, but this shows that the most suitable time to do something. Okay, it's high time you realize that you are not still young this year. Yeah, it's high time you realize that you knew that you are not still young this year. Now, Martin Luther King said this. It's high time we learned that lawlessness is no remedy for crime. Yes, it is very crucial to understand this legal and legitimate point. It's high time you were earning your own living. It's high time you were earning your own living. Okay. You have a job, you graduated from the university, you have a job, you are married, you have children, but you have a job, you don't work. Think about this, okay? And say to yourself, it's high time I were earning my own living. Yeah. The image says, I don't think so. Okay. 4. It really is high time. It really is high time you noticed, okay, that there is no remedy for that. Stop worrying about it. Do not hesitate to face your problem. 5. It's now too late to make a start on learning English. A pessimistic person says that it's now too late to make a start on learning English. But B is an optimist or realist. He or she says, I don't think so. You are wrong. I don't think so. I think it's now the right time. Okay? What kind of time? The right time to do it while we are in London. Yes, it is now the right time. It is the most suitable time to do it, to learn English while we are in London. So it's high time we learn English. Okay. It's high time again. The heading is again verb 2. I suppose, I hypothesize, I think it's high time I stopped criticizing the others. Oh, let's delete I suppose, because it's already a supposition saying it's high time I stop. Okay? Yeah. No need to write. Okay, it's high time I stop criticizing the others. When shall I start self-criticizing? It's high time you start self-criticizing. What do you know? What is what? To do to do it's high time to do what? It's high time. It's high time you what? Let's change it like this. What is it? What is it high time you did? Yeah, what is it high time you did? It's high time it's high time I make a video. It's high time I make a video. I mustn't be late, okay? I mustn't be late to make that video. It is high time I make a video. Okay. Now, Shannon L. Alder said, often those that criticize others reveal what he or she himself lacks. Yeah, they, in fact, they by criticizing the other, they expresses themselves. They talk about themselves. Okay. Now, Roman number 11. Yunus seems as if he saw a freezing cold fire and its cold flames. There is an artistic way of giving a message. Okay, by using literary devices. Yeah. For example, personification is a literary way of seeing something beautifully. Irony, oxymoron, metaphor, simile, hyperbole. Yeah, hyperbole. These are all ways of expressing a message beautifully. Beautiful ways of expressing message. Yunus seems as if he saw a freezing cold fire. Is it possible? No, but there is an aesthetic in saying it. Yunus seems as if he saw a freezing cold fire and its cold flames. Flames are already hot, but it says it's cold flames. Furthermore, he seems as if he were a firefighter. 2, you seem as if you were the most intelligent and the sharpest person in the world. Is it possible? No, it is impossible. It is just an imagination. But again, P says, perhaps I am. You are surprisingly modest about yourself. Let's put an again exclamation mark here. Yeah, it is not the state of being modest. It is the state of being pride and arrogant. Okay. Okay, Roman number 12. Okay, this is Rıdvan on the right. Yeah, there are 2 gifts in the gift at the top. There is Rıdvan. This is Rıdvan. And this is good, he says, but unfortunately, he jumps down by accident, of course, not by falling, not willingly, okay, by accident. Okay. Rıdvan behaves as though or as if he were a stuntman this year. He isn't a stuntman, he is just an engineer. Okay. 2, look at that cat. It looks as though it perceived, understood what it has seen. Yes, a dangerous scene. And the cat looks as though it perceived what it has seen. Of course, a cat doesn't have a perception like us. Okay, now this is the second part of our video. It will be about the past hypothesizing or past speculations, past suppositions, imaginations. Okay. Again, third type, this time third type. Okay. Third type if. Okay. And I wish, or he wishes, she wishes, they wish, if only, supposing, would rather, was sooner, it was high time, or it was time, it was about time, it was high time, and as if, as though. Yes, can you guess the subordinate clause? We will use them as the main clause, okay, as the main clause. But they are independent clauses. These are independent clause phrases, but we will use dependent clauses. Can you guess the time? Of course, about, we use past perfect tense. Yes. Now, Roman number 7. I wish. Okay, not just answered, okay? I wish I had answered all the questions in the exam yesterday. What does Bengi wish she had been, had done, or had yesterday? Of course, we can produce a sentence immediately, although I haven't got an answer now in my mind. Okay, let's start. Bengi wishes she had been. She had been the driver, for example. Bengi wishes she had been the driver. She had driven. She had driven. Bengi wishes she had driven the car slowly. Bengi wishes she had his own car yesterday, last Sunday. Okay. Now, Bengi wishes today about the states or actions happened in the past. Okay. Bengi wishes he had breakfast this morning, for example. Did he have breakfast? No, he didn't have breakfast. So now at noon, for example, he feels tired, so he wishes Bengi wishes he had breakfast this morning. 2. Hilmi wishes he hadn't eaten so many hot peppers. Or he has gotten his cups for about 10 minutes. Hilmi wishes he hadn't had he has had each cups for 10 minutes, so Hilmi wishes he hadn't had each cups for 10 minutes then, yesterday. Ayla wishes she had bought a Corolla. Ayla wishes she had bought a Corolla. But did she buy a Corolla? Of course not. Ayla just wishes she had bought a Corolla last month. Okay. What's each cup? What's each cupping? The science behind each cups and what causes them. Yes, they say that there is a certain knowledge behind each cups. For example, if you eat hot peppers, you will have each cups. Okay. So Hilmi wishes he hadn't eaten so many hot peppers. Why? Because he has had each cup for about 10 minutes now. Okay. Now, this is really interesting. What a wonderful life I've had. Who said this? Sidonie Gabriele Colette. What a wonderful life. Where is it? This one. What a wonderful life I've had. If only, or I wish I had realized it earlier. It's really striking. Okay. If only I had known what I know now 10 years ago. If only I had known 10 years ago what I know now. Okay, I think it will be better if it is also possible, but let's take it from here to here. If only I had known 10 years ago what I know now. If only I had known, parentheses, let's put it into parentheses, the main clause is, if only I had known what I know now. Okay. Okay, all right. The next is 3. If only I hadn't behaved so angrily yesterday, but unfortunately I behaved angrily now. If only I hadn't behaved so angrily yesterday. I regret having behaved like this. If only that scientist could have lived longer. If only that scientist could have lived longer. Yes, I believe that those prefer and regret, the words prefer and regret are really important, and we will have full presentations about them without finishing harmony 3. Yes, before ending harmony 3, we will have 2 presentations about the verbs regret and prefer. Okay. Because of their importance. Okay, 5. If only you hadn't seen the weak sides of your friend, but unfortunately you saw the weak sides of your friend. You did wrong. If only you hadn't seen the weak sides of your friend. All of us have weak points each. This is quite natural. If only I had known where you would stay, who you would meet last weekend. But unfortunately, I didn't know. What a wonderful life I've had. Yes, I only wish I'd realized it sooner, earlier. Okay. Roman number 3. Suppose you had acted in that film. Would you have done your own stunts, or would you prefer a stuntman? 2. Suppose you had missed the last ferry boat from the island. What would you have done? Yeah. Okay. Roman number 4. Number 1. Supposing that you had written Romeo and Juliet. Is it possible? No, it is an unreal situation. Everybody knows that everybody knows that Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet, but this is just an hypothesis, okay? Theory, imagination, yes. Supposition. This is just a supposition. Suppose that you had written Romeo and Juliet. Would you have ended it happily? Yeah. 2. Supposing Shefika had arrived a little earlier, we might have been informed of the sequence of events earlier. Yes. But unfortunately, Shefika didn't arrive earlier. He arrived later. Late is nothing. Roman number 5. Yes, the third type of if clause. If I had known that you were ill last month, I would have visited you. But unfortunately, I didn't know, and I didn't visit you. If I had known that you were ill last month, I would have visited you. Number 2, if you had the chance to attend that meeting, now, today, tomorrow, next week, about present and future. This one is about present and future. What topic would you propose? What topic would you raise? What topic would you put forward? Yeah, this is also important. Propose. If you had the chance to attend that meeting, what topic would you propose? Okay. Tomorrow or the next week, yes. Shall we read the speech balloons? Okay. The first one, for example, they are at the meeting. The first one says, can a member raise something new? Yeah, can a member put forward? Can a member propose? Also possible, yes. Can a member propose something new if it isn't on the agenda? Now, the second one says, what if someone makes a motion to do something no one is interested in? We still have to talk about it? Yeah. What if here, as you easily guess, what will you do? What can you do? Okay. If someone makes a motion to do something no one is interested in, do you still have to talk about it? Okay. Okay. How do you end debate? How do you end debate when you heard every argument and are ready to vote? Yes. What do you end? What do you end debate? How do you end debate, discussion when you heard every argument and are ready to vote? Roman number 6. I would rather you, I would rather Ahmed, I would rather your father, I would rather your friend had been at the meeting than you had planned. A friend of you yesterday had helped, yes, that you had helped a friend of you yesterday. I would rather you had been, okay? I would rather you had been at the meeting than you had helped a friend of you yesterday. But you preferred to have help, okay? To have helped a friend of you. Maybe this is better than it. than attending the meeting, than being at that meeting. Okay. Now, how a no-spend challenge challenges your life. How a no-spend challenge, yes, challenges your life. Okay, Roman number 7. I would sooner Yaşar hadn't spent so much money yesterday. I wish, sorry, I would sooner, it's just like saying I wish Yaşar hadn't spent, okay? I would sooner, I would rather, also possible, you know this, I would sooner Yaşar hadn't spent so much money yesterday, but unfortunately, he spent a lot of money. This is just a wish. This is just an hypothesis. Roman number 8. It was time we had left then. Okay. The suitable time. It was the suitable time. It was time we had left then, and we did it. We left the meeting. Roman number 9. It was about time. Yes, this is more stronger than the first one. It was about time we had a conversation with Qasim last night. Okay. And what is the third? It was high time. It was high time, the most strongest one. It was high time you had realized that you were not, you or had not been younger, had been young last year. Yes, realize this reality. Realize, recognize, be aware of this reality. 2. It was high time the municipality had decided to restore that old building in this town. Roman number 11. Yunus seemed as if he had seen a cold fire and its freezing cold flames. Yeah, just an imagination. It is impossible to see that kind of, or to be in that kind of a situation. That one behaves as though he had been, or he were a stuntman last year. Because of simple past, the main clause, we can also use simple past. Yeah. In fact, if it is for Rıdvan behaved, if it were, for example, simple present tense, it is impossible to use were for the past speculations. But like this, if it is simple past tense, we can use either past perfect or simple past tense. Both of them are okay in this specific situation. Okay. Rıdvan behaved as though he had been a stuntman last year, or Rıdvan behaved last year as though he were a stuntman last year. Okay. Now, extended metaphors. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. The other, if image says, I am going to be a stuntman when I grow up. Okay. Now, quiz time. Okay, the first question. It's high time, the most strongest one. Okay. It's high time you washed your car. It's extremely dirty. 2. If only I, earlier means in the past. Okay. If only I had learned. Okay. If only I had learned English earlier. I wish I could come with you now. I wish I could come with you now, but I can't. I am very busy. I would rather you drove the car tomorrow. I would rather you drove the car tomorrow. You'd better not shout in the library now. You'd better not shout in the library now. Now, time to build. Yeah, time to build our vocabulary. It's time we built our with T, simple past tense. It's time we built our vocabulary, or it's about time we built our vocabulary, or it's high time we built our vocabulary. Okay. Now, as a single word, hypothesize and verb, yes, hypothesize in both forms as a verb, yes. Let's focus on it just as a word of work, yes, verb word. Okay, if you hypothesize, if you imagine, if you suppose, if you hypothesize that something will happen, you see that you think that thing will happen because of various different facts you have considered, you have thought, you have contemplated, reflected, form a hypothesis. Yes, hypothesize means form a hypothesis. Form a theory. Yeah, form a theory. Make a theory, construct a theory. Okay. Supposition. Okay. Okay. Assumption, conjecture also possible. Yeah, conjecture, supposition, assumption. Doesn't have a relation with the fact, reality. It has a relation with the imagination. Okay. For example, one of my friends hypothesizes he will find the lost city of Atlantis. Yeah, as a verb, we don't use modules, etc. Because we already say one of my friends hypothesizes he will find the lost city of Atlantis. But if we use a model, we don't use hypothesize. For example, one of my friends may or might find the lost city of Atlantis. Okay. For example, as a word, yes, Christopher Columbus had hypothesized, had assumed he was going to go to India, or he was going to India is also possible, or he was going to reach India, but in the end, at the end of the journey, he discovered the continent America. So he didn't go. He didn't go to India, but he had assumed that he was in India. In fact, he was in the new continent America. Let's read it once more. Christopher Columbus had hypothesized at the beginning of his journey, had assumed he was going to India. Now, drag up is a phrasal verb. If a child is dragged up, their parents do not teach them to behave properly. It is used humorously. Mention an unpleasant or embracing story from the past, even though it upsets someone. Check out that child out there. His parents haven't brought him up. On the contrary, they dragged him up. Yes. Yes, they, where was it? Brought him, the pronouns don't come at the end of the phrasal verbs. Okay, they come between them, between the verb and the preposition. But we can use, for example, they haven't brought up that child very well. Okay, but here they haven't brought him up properly. They have brought him up randomly, not consciously, scientifically, properly, etc. On the contrary, they've dragged him up. In short, they've dragged him up. Why are you dragging up that story again and again? Yeah. Inspire is a beautiful verb. Give someone the idea for something. Yes. Especially for a story, painting, poem, of course, a positive idea, a useful idea. Inspiration is the noun form, a good idea about what you should do. You should write, should say, etc. Especially one which you get suddenly, a person, experience, place, etc. That gives you new ideas for something you do. Inspirational is the adjective form, providing encouragement or new ideas for what you should do. Take as a verb, meaning consider, see, view, look at, regard, yes. Take somebody or view somebody, something as as something, as, or to be some, as to be something, also possible. Take the second meaning, react to someone or something, consider them in a particular way. For example, take somebody, something seriously. Yeah. Slightly, badly, personally. You shouldn't take that subject personally. You should take that subject seriously, not slightly. Yes, bringing up versus opposing, yeah. Bringing up, opposing, dragging up. If someone knows how to behave, it means that they have been brought up. What does it mean if someone does not behave properly? So it means that they have been dragged up, unfortunately. Now, personal from the Wikipedia. This paragraph is from the Wikipedia about personal development. What is personal development? Personal development includes activities that improve awareness and identity, develop talents and potential, build human capital and facilitate employability, enhance, make better, enhance the quality of life, and contribute to the realization of dreams and inspirations. So personal development covers activities that improve awareness, activities that improve, activities that develop, activities that build, activities that facilitate, activities that enhance, activities that contribute to the realization of dreams and aspirations. Okay. Yes, so personal development covers all these points, important points. My new friend always inspires me to be polite. Yes, inspire somebody to have something. My new friend always inspires me to be polite. Who inspires you to read poems? My old friend inspires me to read poems. What inspires you to trust Terry's ability? His behaviors inspire me to trust Terry's ability. Nedim is usually inspired by the nature to write poems. Who is usually inspired by the human psychology to write poems? George is usually inspired by human psychology to write poems. Inspired by the inspiring wind. Do you see the participles here? Inspired, because being inspired, okay? As being inspired, because being inspired by the inspiring wind. Inspiring wind is active, but inspired person, passive here, yes. Inspired by the inspiring wind, Yunus started to write a poem starting with, "Oh, the wind, comb my hair." What did Steve do? Inspired, yes. What did Steve do? Being inspired, passive. adjective at the same time. What did Steve do? Inspired by the inspiring. When Steve wrote this, for example, it's easier to adjust our kite than fight the wind. So Steve started flying his kite, inspired by the inspiring wind. For example, this is a poem. Maybe it was written inspired by the inspiring rain. Yes, let me, its name is This Rain. This rain, this rain, this thinner than hair, softer than breath, falling this rain. This rain, this rain, van stops one day, mirrors don't recognize me. Or mirrors start not recognizing me. Okay, Nedim takes inspiration from, means Nedim is inspired from. Yeah, let me write it in parentheses. Nedim takes inspiration from means Nedim is always. We can write always as well, but let me not write always. Nedim, yeah, let's write the whole sentence. Nedim is inspired by, I think this time is better. In the noun form, takes inspiration from, but Nedim is inspired by. Yes, by the physical world. Okay. Yes, it is much better now. Nedim takes inspiration from the physical world to write poems. Who gets, takes or gets inspiration from his or her psychological world to write poems? Stephanie gets inspiration from her psychological world to write poems. What is inspirational for you to write a poem? A singing bird is inspirational for me to write a poem, or that a bird is singing, okay? That a bird is singing is inspirational for me to write a poem. Or just a singing bird. A singing bird is inspirational for me to write a poem. Be inspired, passive. Be inspiring, active. Inspired by the inspiring rain, Akif remembered the poem starting with, look at the rain, look at that water. Carving the mountain and rocks, flowing and going to the ocean. Something like this. What did Simi remember inspired by the inspiring rain? Inspired by the inspiring rain, Simi remembered the poem starting with this rain, this rain, this thinner than hair, softer than breath, etc., etc. In favor of, in defense or support of. Okay, these are really practical and useful expressions. In favor of, or in defense of, in support of. Write them in complete form. In support of, on behalf of, on the side of, in favor of. For the sake of okay, okay. I am not in favor of. I am not in favor of Halit's being. I am obsessed. This underlined as incorrect words. Let's check it. I think there is what is wrong here? Defense, yeah, with S. Okay, okay. In defense of it, there's not C. Okay. Did we read it completely? Have we finished it? Okay. I am not in favor of Halit's being because of. I am not in favor of Halit's being motivated to play ice hockey. Who is in favor of his being motivated to wrestle? His grandfather is in favor of his being motivated to wrestle, or his grandfather is on the side of, okay, on the side of his being motivated to wrestle, in defense of, in support of, on behalf of, okay, on behalf of his being motivated to wrestle. Yes, this is the end of our presentation today. I hope it was a good revision and summary. Yes, as I said, we will do that kind of presentations at the end of Harmony 2. That is, I mean, in Tour 6 with 10 trips. So with 10 videos, we will make a revision, a summary study about what we have learned so far. Okay, so in the next video, we will start a series of videos about noun clauses. I think they will be 6 or 7 videos. Not noun clauses, sorry, conjunctions and group conjunctions, but group conjunctions, because group conjunctions, so group conjunctions, so that group conjunctions, and or group conjunctions. 6 videos, yes. There will be 6 videos about those and compound sentences, yes. Okay, so I wish you a good day and stay safe. Stay safe and healthy. See you next time.